Meanwhile, the Iran War. Yep, still a thing. Although it looks like the Texans are moving in to Turpan, and the others are coming in to reinforce as well. It doesn't look like Timurids have noticed yet what is going on. And apparently we have a USA. We have a United States of America. Alright, we'll take a look at them in a moment, because I definitely want to see this fight. This is going to be in the desert. This is the opposite of what I was suggesting. I was saying that the Timurids should go after Hami, but in fact the Texans have gone after Turpan, which is basically the same situation. The Timurids also being caught a bit further back. The Altai are being caught by a counter attack over there, 60,000 against 20. These guys are moving in, force marching, but I think they may have left it a bit too long. I think that this was a fight that they were going to be pretty committed to. 40,000 against 50,000. Another 24,000 Texans coming in. The Texans, unlike the French, do not have nearly enough artillery supporting the back line. So they're going to be suffering in terms of the amount of damage they are doing. To be fair, Timurids don't really either, although they are fighting in two different positions. So combined, these two might well be 30,000. Meanwhile, the Texans definitely being defeated here in Turpan. I do wonder if these guys are going to turn around and counterattack, although it doesn't look like they're going to need to, just because the Timurid army is just really strong. 7.5 morale just means that they can just stay in these battles. Another 40,000 Sham and Iran units being sent over. The Iran forces did get a victory here. They are marching, though they are not force marching. Timurids being forced back. I think the Timurids will be able to hold strong here. Iran are trying to send in another unit, although they will arrive. No, they're not. They've cancelled. Who's coming in? 19,000 from here. Against 40,000. Probably trying to buy some time so that these guys can arrive. 60,000 are not force marching, so they're not going to get there in time. The Japanese, however, might, but they are going to be on low morale by the time they arrive, though it is doubtful, yep, whether they survive. They didn't. Japan needs to cancel this move right now. Cancel. 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 Or don't cancel. That's fine too. Okay, so we have got Japan and Iran coming in with 60,000, another 20,000 there. So this is going to be 80,000 against 40,000. 40,000 Timurids on low morale, trying to hold out, although these guys are not going to be fully recovered. Doing a huge amount of damage to... Why am I not getting the ticks? Just noticed that. Japan, okay, so Iran's forces did arrive, 140,000 against 20,000. This is probably the time when Timurids want to run away. They have, but unfortunately they've again run just one province away, so they are probably going to get slightly stack-wiped. So watching the Polish-Russian war made me think, the rule says no top great power may not be allied with each other, but if two of them are in the HRE. They're in the HRE. I mean, they've had to contend with HRE mechanics for that long. I'm fine with it. Okay, United States, because you can't do that offensively. You can only do it defensively, which is kind of the purpose of the HRE. It's supposed to be a defensive block against foreign powers. So yeah, Timurids have finally been defeated, but they definitely inflicted a ton of damage there. Meanwhile, the United States has formed. Hello.
Hello. It's Prussia.
Hello, Prussia.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened there. I just suddenly got pieced out
By...
in the war against Russia.
Oh, it's because he was stab hitting you. So because
yeah, but I didn't accept or decline it. I just let it sit there, and then suddenly I was pieced out.
Yeah, if your stability goes down to -3, then it's automatically accepted.
Yeah, I didn't. I have currently 0 stability.
Then I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
I think there were quite a few bugs this session.
There have been a huge number of bugs, like that Finland one being the worst. I really hope that doesn't affect other vassals, though I think it might.
The only problem with that is that just by taking that provinces without him being in the war made the Hindustan-Russian alliance available.
But you weren't forced to take like half of Finland. If you had just take one province or two, it would be no difference. In my it was your decision to take Finland, so he dropped under.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about that since Calico was subbing for me at that time.
And that's just Calico being aggressive. It's Calico. Calico being Calico, basically.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a really good war. And, like, Hindustan were supporting Russia during it anyway. I don't think that's a secret anymore. But then when the alliances came in, then Hindustan was able to just join. But until that point, I think that Russia was starting to win, but it was going to be one really bloody slog, in which both sides probably would have been bled pretty much dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is the war was supposed to be on Russia as well. So our branch of the war didn't actually go to war with Russia at that time.
Yeah, and that's the Finland bug. We don't know what caused that. That's just something we've had to roll with. I will be taking it up with Paradox after this, because that was clearly a bug. Like, you should definitely have been... Finland should definitely have called Russia in, because they're the overlord.
Yeah, because the whole point of attacking Finland was to get into the war with the rest of the guys as well.
Yeah.
And that basically made that Hindustan-Russian alliance a possibility.
I mean, I think Calico did the right thing at the start there, declaring war on Finland. Then when Finland didn't call Russia, declaring on Russia. I was pleased when I saw that. And then when he took that land from Finland, which Russia wasn't able to prevent, I thought, that's a little bit iffy. But it then allowed Russia to call in Hindustan. So everyone benefited, frankly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all because of the bug. I can't do anything about that because it's a bug.
Yeah, I know.
But I thought it was a really good fight. Both sides putting in a hell of a lot of effort, and I thought the coordination on the HRE side was good, particularly because there were so many different players involved. I thought it was just a really good war. Enjoyable to watch.
Good to hear that. A lot of casualties, though. I lost like 20% of my professionalism as well.
Oof. Yeah, I think everyone took a big hit to professionalism there, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't tap that one.
Yeah, but you joined in a bit later. Like, I know that Russia was hit pretty heavily in terms of that.
But I'm really glad I had something to do this session and not just jump on Yuan again. So, a proper war.
Well, you could always have joined the other side, you know.
But yeah, Hindustan, I think, is still in a really strong position. I mean, the Ottomans, unfortunately, have been the pretty much sole benefactor from the fall of Spain, which does annoy me a little bit. Like, this is one of the reasons I hate people that just nation ruin, because it ruins the game for everyone. So I was going to say that Hindustan was kind of running away with the game, but now the Ottomans are back in it because of what they've gained from Spain. So it'll be interesting to see a showdown between you two. I think that really would be cataclysmic. Is Ulm protected? No. Why would Ulm be protected? They're playing. Sorry,
okay, then I'll leave you two.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll
cool.
leave you to it.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. I really appreciate that. Hello, Uran.
Yeah, I just heard about something about bloody Russia illegal alliances, whatever. What's that about?
Nothing was illegal. It's Sweden declared war on Finland. Finland, being a vassal of Russia, should have called Russia in, but they didn't.
I know that bit. And then they took Finland. He allied Hindustan.
Yeah, because they'd taken Finland, which decreased Russia's development so that they were no longer top four, which allowed him to then ally Hindustan.
Count? Because he's still in this war against me, which was because he had allied Timurids, but then Timurids declined the call.
Guy, this is not the time. This is a poet issue. Poet's already ruled on it, and I'm standing by that.
He has? Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure. No one's told me anything.
Yeah, so Russia did speak with Poet first, saying, "Can I do this?" And he said yes.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm. Ulm is leading... so Ulm is leading the war against France and is occupying. That's why I was a little bit confused about Ulm being protected, because it wouldn't affect them. They're not the ones being occupied. But no, neither nation is being protected here. This is just a war. Although we have, again, another battle, so we arrived here just in time. This is a -2, once again, for the Papal forces. The Pope is definitely throwing away a lot of lives in the attempt to take down France. I mean, I get it. They're taking down France. 7.4 morale on the Papal States army is surprisingly strong. Like, I've got to say, so far, I love everything that Austria's done. Austria has played a fantastic game as the Habsburgs. But in terms of, like, MVP, in terms of, like, player awesomeness, Papal States. Like, what the Papal States have done from being already a very small start, taking over the majority of Italy, managing trade, being like a real trade hegemon almost in the Genoa node, and then just being able to punch way above their weight. It's really impressed me. Like, Papal States have played a really good game so far, which shouldn't really surprise me. The Papal States are actually the victor from the previous game where they were playing as Denmark, but still, like, they're proving themselves. Pope is good, but I think a large part of it is France is more than a little underwhelmed. Oh yeah, undoubtedly. Like, this player came in subbing for an already pretty weak France, so this is not on them. They haven't really had a chance to whip France back into shape. But the fact that the Papal State is winning this so handily against France is impressive. Especially because this is a France that hasn't really been touched by wars. So they didn't have a weakened army or anything. Meanwhile, USA, I wanted to see what ideas and things they've got. So apparently the USA is Sunni. They are in fact Sunni. Then, let's see. Wait, why are they... I'm guessing you're allied to the Ottomans, as opposed to still a colony. Yeah. Allied to the Ottomans and Brazil. That's fair enough. Wait. Andalusia declared... Hang on. Andalusia declared war on the Ottomans. Interesting. The Andalusian conquest of Sevilla. Is this an actual conquest? I think this might be. They have a lot of troops lined up here. They're not actually marching out to take it. They've not gone for Malaga just yet because it is mountainous. But I think that this is a big player war. The Ottomans, Ulm, United States all being called into this conflict. The Papal States called in. Andalusia not calling anyone. Have they not been able to? Brazil, Tunis and Congo. Ottoman forces are moving south, so this doesn't look like it's just a trade of territory. I think this is legitimately Andalusia, which is the number 4 nation, going against the Ottomans, who are the number 1s. And Andalusia has probably one of the scariest armies in the game. Like, we think that the Prussian army is good. I have a feeling that Andalusia's might be better. Because Andalusia have a lot of things going for them. One, their economy is redonkulous, although so is the Ottomans. But they have got defensive ideas, offensive ideas, and innovative ideas. Although they haven't finished off innovative. Which means they can't yet get the plus 20% infantry combat ability, which would come from that combination. But their armies are plus 10. Oh, only plus 10. Okay. So are the Ottomans. The Ottomans have the better cavalry and artillery. The Andalusians are plus 10 in all of those stats. But Andalusia has plus 15% morale of armies. Andalusia has minus 15% fire damage received. That is huge for this time of the game, which means that most of the fire damage which the Ottomans will be incurring is just going to be negated. So Andalusia's like national idea grouping is really strong. Okay, so here we go. First battle, Ottomans are expectedly taking way more casualties. Ottomans bringing in another 60,000 troops, probably thinking that they could have won this one rather more easily. It's 6.2 morale versus 5.2. Andalusia's just sheer quality is showing through here. They have 43,000 troops. They're just like, we don't need them. It's fine. And the first victory is a pretty solid Andalusian victory. Also, their troops are fully drilled. I don't think the Ottoman ones are. No, the Ottomans have not been making use of their Janissary drill ability. Because they're not actually Janissaries, of course. The Ottomans spent a lot of time getting rid of their Janissaries, so they are just a regular military now. So, first victory there going for Andalusia. They are also sitting here with Sail. Sail, of course, having a good fleet. They're pirates. I am curious about the naval situation, though. So, Andalusia have 15 heavy ships, no galleys. The Ottomans have 2 heavy ships and 49 galleys. So, I would say, on the face of this, the naval superiority comes from the Ottoman side, probably because of the Papal States. Yeah, I would think so. So I wonder if this is purely just going after Iberia. I think probably. I do wonder if anyone else is going to go to war with the Ottomans. Whether this is just going to be Andalusia versus the Ottomans. So who have we got? Timurids, Iran, Ulm, France, Russia, Papal States, Maguindanao, Japan, United States, Netherlands, Texas, Ottomans, Andalusia, Hindustan, Sweden, Austria. I don't think any new players have really joined there. Part of the question here is going to be military strength. So 116 manpower versus 67. So Andalusia is definitely losing out on those terms. 171 force limit versus 300. Good grief. So this is only a third of the Ottoman army out here right now. This is 122,000 going up against 97,000 Ottomans. This is in the flatlands. Again, Andalusia just showing that they can do a lot of damage, although the early tick's actually going against them. 646 general versus a 5-5. So I'd say that the Ottoman general is probably slightly better, although it's still pretty close. Now the Ottomans taking 3,000 a tick because their front line has just suffered a lot more damage. And it does look like the Ottoman morale is going to be eroded before the Andalusian, although this is a particularly bad tick for the Andalusians. And then another bad tick for the Andalusians, 2 in a row. Now the Andalusians have the better tick, and they're actually doing a lot more damage because of it. I don't think that the Ottoman morale... Oh no! Andalusia pulled back? Why? You were winning. Okay, that was a weird decision. I am surprised by that. They probably shouldn't have pulled back there because I think they would have won that fight. Meanwhile, in the United States of America, they are currently fighting against Cree, Huron, Abnaki, and Miami, with Cree being the war leader. Is this a fight that the United States have begun? Yes, this is the American conquest of Ohio. So definitely showing a little bit of Manifest Destiny right here. Now, the one thing I did want to take a look at is to see if the United States are using American traditions. It does look like it. +1 merchant, +20 religious unity, and they also get a yearly Republican tradition of +0.3, which is really strong. They ignore religious tolerance, which is a bit of a weird one because they get religious unity as well. This probably needs another look at, seeing as this is a new idea type. They have national unrest of -2, colonist +1, morale of armies +10, goods produced +15, yearly prestige +1, and they can also fabricate on overseas colonial regions. Like I said, Manifest Destiny. Meanwhile, Ulm is still fighting against the French. They are sitting on 99% war score. France is apparently refusing the peace deals, probably because Ulm is not sending stab hits. They should be stab hitting France at this point if they're refusing to peace out. That's on them. The tool is there. They should use it. Meanwhile, the Andalusians starting to rally once... Oh no, war's over. So they had a couple of battles, and then they basically said, I want this area, and Ottoman's like, fine. Ulm is very mouthy for somebody who lost to Bavarian AI a lot. I mean, you're not wrong. Meanwhile, over here, we have the Russian forces arriving back on the front, going up against Iran. This is a war that Timurids called, so Timurids are not able to call in Hindustan. However, Hindustan is probably still going to be supporting Russia in terms of monies.
I'd like to point out that the Netherlands has been at full manpower this entire war because the power of infinite mercs.
I've been amazed that more people have not been making more use of mercenaries.
I have literally every battle. If you look at the Netherlands, it's just a flood of new mercenary infantry just comes up through my entire nation and then just walks out to the front line.
Fair enough. I had totally forgotten that you were still in the war against Russia with Sweden.
We beat Hindustan, and then like one of my armies was not consolidating like I wanted it to. So, but oh well.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten that war was going on, so I'm sorry. I wasn't watching.
Yeah, we took St. Petersburg and then lost it again, so whatever.
Fair enough.
There are like a bajillion rebels everywhere in Russia. It's kind of...
I mean, this is the downside for Russia, especially when Russia has war exhaustion. Actually, they don't have that much yet.
Yeah, but everyone's at low... No, actually, if you look at the war, no one's actually has any real war exhaustion.
No, so people must be spending it down, or just because the occupations are relatively low.
That, and like, I'm actually like net losing it right now because I'm a defender of the...